Howdy pals! I haven't done a voiceover video in a bit. I've been obsessed with Genshin Impact recently, and since I've only drawn Venti, I thought I'd draw another character, and that character is Yelan. I was playing around with sketches in another Procreate document and thought that this relaxed pose fit Yelan the best. I altered it a little bit, changing like her hand positions, cause, you know, I don't know, it just felt more original. If any of you don't know what Genshin Impact is, are you living under a rock? Nah, I'm joking. I'll try to explain, but warning, I am bad at this. Genshin Impact is an open-world RPG made by Hoyoverse, where characters use one of the 7 magical elements in combat to defeat enemies based on what region they are in. Each region, or nation, is tied to the 7 elements, and there's an Archon that controls each element. Except for Dendro. They're dead. The Archons are the ones that give elemental visions to people, and that's why there's little to no characters who use the element Dendro. It means plants to any of you who don't know what Dendro means. Anyways, you play as the traveler that's not from this world who is looking for their twin as they travel through the 7 nations. That's the basic idea. If you're really interested, I suggest looking for more information from Hoyoverse themselves, but after this video. Don't leave yet. So, Yelan is a user of the Hydro element. Water. Anyway, back to the Speedpaint. There isn't much to say about the sketch, it's just a sketch, other than the fact that these characters are insanely detailed, and I am very impressed, but also annoyed, because Hoyoverse, why do you have to do this to me? It takes me forever to draw these characters, because they're way too detailed, but they're also so pretty. So as you can see, I have mixed feelings. Also, I'm so sorry for the flashing. I'm switching between so many layers. Alright, onto the line art. I put way too much effort into this line art. The line art took me multiple days to complete. Whoops. And mainly, again, because of the insane detail in these characters. Alright, color blocking time. And I know what you're thinking. What is this? This is scary. What are you doing? I don't know. I thought it would just save me time from outlining the character and then color dropping. It didn't. It didn't. It just left little holes in there, and I had to turn it red in order to find the holes because I'm saying holes too much. Basically what I'm saying is there were gaps in the color that I used to fill her in, and I needed to find those gaps and fill in those gaps. Anyway, about the actual colors, my colors tend to have more pinky tones, or I guess in the words of Icy Art Studio, pastel-like colors. So the whites tend to lean more towards pinks, the black colors look more like a dark magenta-like color. Don't really know what inspired me to start using these types of color palettes, and I only know the basics of color theory, but I'm glad I've been able to use this palette in my art a bunch, because let's be honest, it's really pretty. Anyways, as you can see, I turned the base color red again, because it's hard to see the differences in the dark blues, so it helped me fill in the color gaps, and the random gaps of white, because I did a bad job doing that whole color fill thing earlier. Now we are moving on to the shading and the details in the coloring. I gotta be honest, I got carried away and added a bunch of detail to the shading, which isn't a bad thing, but it is time consuming. I used the official art of Yelan as a reference for the shading on the fur coat, and oh my god, this was so fun to draw. I'm proud of how the fur turned out. The shape of her shoes were weird, but I was able to make them look more, narrow with the shading or something. I put more dark and light colors in the metal bits on her clothing in order to give it a shiny effect. I was also messing with the color of the transparent part on her leg and arm. And in a bit, I add a little bit of blue lighting. Good. Stupid alarm. Anyway, I add blue lighting coming from her backside. Now onto the background. I'm really proud of the water texture that I drew below her feet. At first I had water shooting out of a puddle, kind of like her elemental burst, as well as dice around her. Also more textures to give off the water feel. Later I switched up the streams of water that were coming out of the puddle to come out from behind Yelan instead. This draws the viewer's eye to Yelan in the center. I believe this is called leading lines or rule of thirds. I might be wrong. The last thing I did was make the dice glow. That's the end of the speed paint. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd say I'd see you soon, but I don't really have time to make these kind of videos. But if you want to see more of my work, please see my social media posts where I post more consistently. Thank you for watching. Remember to eat some pancakes, not me, and stay determined.